Hey, welcome everybody. I'm kind of red.
Yeah, we got burnt today.
Got raccoon eyes.
We didn't
Skunk
put on any
eyes.
sunscreen.
Any
Skunk screen.
skunk stream? Get rid of the skunk eyes,
Yeah.
raccoon eyes. Whoever's got the white things around them. I don't know. It's unscheduled. We'll give a few minutes for everybody to kind of come on. That unscheduled live. Talk a little bit about Milwaukee. We got a big announcement we want to make tonight. We got something special going to be happening. So we will talk about that
Tomorrow
in a
morning.
little bit. So today, we started out today. Where we go first?
The powertrain
Oh yeah, I went to the
facility.
museum, or not museum, we went to the factory. Video is going to tell you a little bit more about it. Bad news is when you go to the factory, one, it's free. So that's one of the nice things about it.
Yeah. And it's an hour and a half long, just FYI. I didn't think I was going to make it.
Getting in was no big deal. There was a line. Excuse me. When you look at the line that I showed you in the video that's going to come out tomorrow, well, our line was about half that big. So, but I mean, it took us probably, I don't know, 5-10 minutes probably to get inside the building. They give you safety glasses to wear. You can keep them if you want. We kept them because you never know when you need clear glasses at night. Always got to give you something for free, right?
Oh, let me see. XM Bikers on. How you doing? Says good evening, Bob and Tina.
And Rowan's on.
Rowan.
He's been pretty regular now. He's on all
Yeah.
my. I see him on all the videos, talking and making comments. There's Mike. I really should be, but the alert said important news. That's right. We've got big news coming.
And
We're gonna talk
Mike, did
about.
you get my text? I guess I
Yeah.
never looked to see if you got my text.
Yes, we got some more information about the wedding. So if you look at your email or text, whatever she sent.
Oh,
Oops, we
Road
skipped
King.
Road King.
Road King, not Rod King. Road King.
Yeah. And so what we got going on. So today was a so-so day. We didn't get everything done that I wanted. So we went to the museum, not the, I keep saying it's the museum factory. Went over to the factory. I was kind of disappointed. I don't really look into a lot of what's going on, with Harley and stuff like that. And I actually thought they still had the old factories where they did stuff at. I didn't realize when we pulled up to this place because they're like,
that was the first disappointment. We thought it was the old factory with the water tower on top. It said Harley Davidson and all that.
It's been closed for a while. So when we got there, and it's like, well, because you're not allowed to film inside, and since we're media people, we could film outside. Oh, this is a freaking ugly building. It's just a white old building with some Harley emblems on it, and out front was kind of neat. But other than that, it really wasn't anything worth. But I mean, they had demo bikes there. They had some stunt shows going on. Now we didn't film any of that. Might go over there again tomorrow because we're gonna talk about something in a minute. If you guys seen my short I put out earlier, that the Ives brother and the people, I don't know who the guys are because they're not there. The guys that do the steel ball you drive around inside, the people that are, which is really screwed up. We're going to talk to corporate. And because the idea of this is you hire a company to put this on that they're having at the Veterans Field. So that's being Harley Davidson's paying for the whole thing. So they hired a promotion company, Nation, what's it called?
Live Nation.
Live Nation. They're the ones that book the band, and
Like
they're kind of running everything that's inside there. Well, Harley Davidson, actually, they say the CEO actually said they wanted the Wall of Death and some of the stuff there because they wanted some stuff that you see at rallies and stuff. So I was kind of excited about it. That's why we got there kind of early today because we thought, hey, we want to do the Ives brothers and we want to see the steel thing. They got the nitro guys that are jumping and spinning and on the bikes and stuff. And so that we thought, hey, there'd be some things building up to the concerts, and then we'd see if we were going to stay around for concerts or not. And so
it was supposed to rain at 8 o'clock, but it didn't yet. It's supposed to rain at
showing,
5 o'clock too.
It's showing on the radar when I look at my phone. It's supposed to be raining here. There was a couple of sprinkles. And when we first pulled up, she brought the umbrella in just in case. So what's really crazy about this is that it looks like this company is the one that's telling Harley Davidson what they can do and can't do. So that's kind of shocking, because if I was, this Live Nation might be bigger than they think they are. But, I don't know. So we're going to get a hold of Chase that puts on Panama City and Ocean City and say, hey, you might want to get a hold of Harley Davidson and put this field on because, they had big bands too. They've had Kid Rock and what did they have this year? Panama City had.
Leonard Skinner and Jekyll was there. Who was they had like a country guy, didn't they?
Yeah, but they had a headliner too. It wasn't Leonard Skinner was the headliner. Who was it before the night before Leonard Skinner? I don't know, but they booked some pretty good bands. They've had Kid Rock and stuff. He's booked them, so they can get pretty good bands to come. He's pretty good at doing it. And so when I look at this whole operation today, like I said, this is the first time we've ever been there. And overall, everything that I've seen, I'm really pretty pleased with, pretty satisfied with coming up here and doing this. But when I came to the field, they gave us VIP, they gave us the whole corporate jumped up and they really came.
Stepped up.
Yeah, they really stepped up for us and gave us the red carpet here, and we've gotten a lot of things that probably a lot of other people are not getting.
That's Saturday night.
So that's kind of it's
Green
nice
lights
for
tonight.
us. And so,
Eat them, cat.
but when we went over to the Veterans Field, we actually went over there yesterday, and we could have got in, but they said there's nothing going on. And I said, well, it's Thursday, it's the first day, so they really only have Friday and Saturday because the only things going on at the Veteran Park, which is 2 days. And so we went over there today. Looked around. Well, this place is gigantic. It's like 5 or 10 football fields. And what they do is they have all the vendor tents and stuff. Now, the vendor tent, the only people that are there selling anything,
That's where we are. We
barbecue.
have
place.
barbecue. Double B's barbecue. It was good.
Yep.
Hey, David.
Something close. I was trying to find something downtown where we're at. Just
This is West Alice.
spend some money locally with the people that are here and stuff. And I thought, hey, we'll come out and do a chat with you guys, tell you a little bit about what we're doing, what's going on. But like I said, with this field, I was first I walked up and it's like, geez, this thing is like walking a mile at each end and everything's on the outside. And it's a lot of doubles and stuff. They got a lot of food. You can see when we scan with the phone and stuff. I got video tomorrow come out and you can see all the different food booths. They must have 50 different people, 50 different styles of food.
And I got bars all over. So, I mean, I guess it's nice. You don't have to wait in line for
Well, we
food
don't
or
know how
for
big it's
bars.
going to be tonight, but it was just kind of weird because back on that back side, which I never went way back over there, like on the other side of the track,
Yeah.
but at the far end, it was always real packed back there. And I don't really know why. It looked like the same junk that was there. They got a bunch of tents, big tents up with tables and, the bar high tables and stuff and chairs and
Standing
stuff.
tables.
And it looks, and they got picnic tables underneath there. So you got a place to get in some shade and stuff. So, it was, I guess they tried, but I mean, in the middle, there's nothing. So I don't know. It was
A few trees here and there. A lot of people were sitting under them trees.
and they had different people there. There was muscular dystrophy, I think, was there, and I don't know if they were raising money. I don't really know what the booth was. They had a couple places you could charge your phone. They charged you for that. They had
And Nitro Circus was there.
yeah, that's the people. I was just saying about the
No.
vendor stuff that was there. They had somebody doing a smoke shop or something was there.
Livewire was there.
Yeah, Livewire had it was really weird. They had a trailer. It was all windows. It would look like an office trailer. And what made it weird was we went into it because I said, I didn't know what was going to be in there. Well, they had a Livewire. It's called something, their model now. I can't think of the name that they call it. And so they had a new model there and we could see that. And it's like, okay, whatever. Then they had a little thing you walk through and they had a big giant fishbowl with patches in it. I don't know. I guess it was different patches that they had. Like you could take what you wanted, grab some, give them away.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
there was some people in front of me. I think they were from
corners.
different country, and boy, they were like going through them, and they went through the whole. I mean, there was only a whole lot left, and they were like going through and going through and going through, and I'm like, there's 4 stickers, there's 4 patches,
That's
that's it. And so it's like, I don't know. What do you just take your 4 patches and move on? But they were picking through it.
Yeah. So it was, so we went out of that, but they had,
7:30
I guess you can get a lot of different bodies
I don't know.
for the live wire now.
Yeah.
We did see at the factory, they actually there in factory here, they actually make the motors for the electric motors here. Kind of neat.
Larry's on.
The factory was kind of boring to me. It was like what she's going to talk in the video. There's a lot of robots that do a lot of the stuff. It really.
It was
probably
kind of sad for me because my granny always worked in a factory. So there was no people. I mean, there was people telling us which way to go, but there was actually no people that were working.
more people at the assembly side.
Yeah, so at the very end, they were where they actually put all the motors together. But I guess most of the plant we went through, they showed where you made the bushings and the flywheel and the stators and I don't know, everything. But people were just standing around. It's like, I've got to walk. I can't just stand there. And I was about ready to say,
Well, what they did is they had a lot of people that were telling you to make turns. you know, to make sure you stayed, you made the right turns to the factory. And so
Because
people
they
would,
only do this tour during the
yeah,
rap.
so it's not open anytime, just like Yorktown. If you would have been at Gettysburg, then they give you the free tour during that time too, which I think the York factory I would have probably liked more, was more of the assembly. I would have liked to see more of that.
This
Watching
was
them
like
put,
making all the nuts and bolts and
yeah, and the crank and all the
sprockets and
different things. Oh, so they was asking about
oh.
if I don't know if Deer Hunter was filmed in Wisconsin. I don't know. I'd have to Google that. We met a lot of people that are local. We talked to some people today. No, I guess they were from North Dakota. Howdy from India.
Here we go.
Harley Davidson just unveiled the X440 in India, along with the Hero Moto Corp. But looks like global Harley Davidson channels barely made any announcement about it. That's kind of weird. I
We'll have to
know,
look it up.
I know what it is weird. Harley's going through a phase, and that's, I don't know how many people we got on. 64. I'll wait a few more minutes before I make our big announcement. But they're going through a phase now to where, you know, with all the stuff that's going on, you know, in America, you know, Bud Light and all this crazy stuff going on. And there's a lot of things the corporations are looking at now to think about how they do their business and stuff like this. And so time will tell. I don't know. Um, it's hard to say. I always say the same thing. I think this industry of street bikes and all this kind of stuff, I think actually all motorcycles, we're probably going to see them phase away here. And I'd say no more than 20 years from now, possibly in the next 15 years. I think rallies and stuff, I think in the next 10 years, they're all going to be gone. And you're like, well, I don't know why you're saying that. I said, well, it's because it's baby boomers. That's who's spending the money on the bikes. Well, we're all getting older. I'm the end of it. We're both the end of the baby boom phase. And that's in the way these companies, and it doesn't matter if it's Honda, Triumph, it's all of them. And people argue with me all the time and say, oh no, there's a lot of young guys that are riding bikes and this and that. Still, look at the rally. The average age, just like in our situation with our YouTube channel, we've got more 55 and olders watch our channel than we do younger people. I do have. We met a young girl today that watches our channel. I don't know how old she was.
She was probably about 10 or 11,
Yeah.
maybe 12.
And she come running up. She was so excited to meet us.
Can I take a picture with you?
And I'm like,
and I forgot to give her a sticker.
And,
I was like,
so I
sorry.
did put her on the video for tomorrow.
Oh, did you? That's good. Because I didn't videotape her. I took a picture with her, and
You
that was
videotaped
it.
her. You told her what to say.
She wasn't. You weren't with me when I saw it. We took a picture.
I just edited. There's
Okay.
there's an interview. I didn't interview the girl, but you're talking to her. You said,
Oh, maybe I did. I don't know. Well, I mean, I should have gave her a sticker.
because she didn't know where we were at. Because you said, tell us where you're at. And she goes,
oh, yeah.
And you said Kenosha. Yeah, Kenosha. And so you made her end up at the end and say it all over
Yeah.
again.
So it's 8:33 here, Rowan. 8 p.m. where it's evening and we just ate dinner. And we're in Central Time Zone. So we're in the middle of the country.
So, like I say, I don't know where this industry, and that's kind of one of the reasons I do what we do now, is because I think a lot of this will be gone. And there's still going to be people ride bikes and stuff. And I'm not saying they're going to go away completely, but I just think a lot of these companies, you know, and who knows where a recession is going to go. A motorcycle is not a luxury. You know, it's kind of like a boat. Anything that you do that's, you know, extra activities, it's not something you have to have. And I think that's what's happening with these young kids today. We have young kids too. We have son-in-laws that are in their 40s, and so they're young kids to us.
17.
But what you look at now is it's more people that are living paycheck to paycheck. You know, most of us, like us, we're retired. So we have a little bit of money, not a lot, but a little bit of money that we can spend. I'm not looking to buy a new motorcycle. But I mean, before that, every 3 years, I was buying a new motorcycle. When we were working, I had a good job. We both worked real good. We had good money. So it wasn't that big a deal to make a payment for 4 or 5 years on a new bike. But today, I have no interest in making a payment on a new bike. I don't know. I would maybe consider some used bikes, which we're going to be talking about after we get done with Sturgis, what we're going to do. We just met. We're still looking at our veterans bikes that we're going to start building. And I think we made some great connections this week. We actually found a gentleman that has he was really into veteran bikes too. He does a lot of stuff for vets.
He worked for.
I don't say that they work for. And, but he's got great connections with probably 50 to 100 retailers that sell stuff at rallies, where he said, I can get you anything you need. You just give me a list of all the things you need for each bike, and I will get them for you and cost you a dime. And I'm like, well, that would be great. So the idea what we were planning on doing is getting Sportsters and soft tails and heritages, stuff that's not too expensive. A lot of the vendors, a lot of the dealers that we deal with, not all of them, we have a couple of dealers that actually said they would help us out. They would give us a bike, but I haven't, they're not going to give
We
me,
haven't seen it yet.
they're not going to give us a brand new bike, and they're
No.
not going to give us one that they could have sold yesterday. They're going to probably give us something that needs a little bit of work. Hopefully not body work. But I guess we
Maybe
could
a
go.
little bit of motor
We
work.
could go to Evan Black or something. I don't know what they have for smaller bikes. I know more of the touring bikes they have stuff for. But I mean,
So Russell wants to know if we've seen the reverse trike prototype.
I don't know where the reverse trike prototype
I
is.
think that most of them come with a reverse, don't they?
So I don't know what's unique about that. You talk, I'll look it up.
All right. And
They
Rowan,
do have a thing with new bikes in it, but I wasn't looking at the trikes. I was looking at the new CVOs.
says, thanks
Harley
for
Davis
the
new reverse trike.
There's Dennis. How are you? Hey, Bob and Tam. Rainmaker had the winner at the event. Rainmaker had the winner at the event.
No, you're gonna have to tell me more about the reverse trike. I don't see anything on. When I just pulled it up, I don't see any listings in Google for it. So let me know what it is, and we can look tomorrow. We're gonna go back over at the museum. Actually, that's probably been about the best place that we've been so far. Is the complex where the museum's at. There's a lot of stuff there. And if you watch the video from the day, you didn't go back and watch it. There's a great restaurant there that was very reasonable.
Yep.
There was
Get the baked potato, the stuffed baked potatoes. Oh my
there
God.
was so much stuff there to do. We didn't even get in and out of stuff, but we did finally go into the outlet store, which really wasn't. If you needed it, it wasn't bad. They had jackets and stuff. Some of the stuff was up to was 50 or 60% off.
60% off?
And she had a shirt that was a 40 or 50% off that you got.
It was $50 and I got it for 16 or 14.
So not that bad. So there was a few, but they didn't have
Carrie?
a lot. Mostly they had a lot of jackets. They had button-down shirts. No, not very many T-shirts. I didn't buy nothing. I didn't see anything that I really wanted. And
Sam Biker says it's simple to the Can-Am. It's similar to the Can-Am. Oh, really? I don't know. So it's got the two wheels in the front and one in the back?
I will look into it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll look and see. We have some people we can talk to, 70 people on. Some get reverse. It's that where the handlebars on the back of the bike instead of the front.
So saying the back wheel turns.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, kind of like
So it'd be like the
Can-Am.
Can-Am. Yeah, that's what he said.
We will look into it
Spider
tomorrow.
reverse trike. Okay. Yep. Has two wheels up front. Okay. Wow. I didn't see any of those. Did you?
Well, I wasn't looking.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, when we went,
Just
they had one whole, like it looked like a store that was just had all their new stuff in it. It had all the new CVOs that, the touring and the new ones that they just announced. All the different colors were in there. I filmed some of that yesterday, but I didn't put it on the video. We just had way too much. Today we don't have as much footage. We didn't do as much stuff.
Well, we did, but the first place we went to, they didn't allow any filming.
Yeah, because we went to which wouldn't have been. I would have took some pictures inside there, but well, the only thing that was very interesting that I didn't know is if you get a powder coated motor, it's powder coated inside too. That was interesting. I was thinking I wouldn't think that, but I guess I'm assuming they're dipped, and then they have to grind off where all the gaskets and stuff and the bearings have to go. Because that's why I was just thinking they didn't powder coat. But I guess it's powder coating is probably a drop-in system where you drop it into the system. I don't know. I don't have any powder coating. Never went to a powder coating place to see how they do it, so I'm not. But I was just when I looked at it, I was like, wow, that's inside the engine. And they powder coated it. Interesting. So that was about the only thing I think was interesting. And they showed you a lot of different parts. They showed you they get the raw parts and it's not machined and it's just a rough piece of metal and it's got like a wheel on it where the gear would be.
Like the flywheel.
Yeah, and I had just a stem sticking up, and then they had one sitting next to it that's all finished. So
they pay somebody to make the flywheels, and they get it in raw like that, and then they do the finishing stuff on the flywheels. But the other stuff I think they made.
I did talk to them about shutting the plant down. How do they get compensated for that?
Because the union was there too.
So yeah, I should have talked to the union. I didn't think about it until after I went around the corner. So I ended up talking to one of the girls that worked there. She works at the York factory, and I said, "What do you, does Harley? What do you do at a shutdown?" She goes, well, we have to draw unemployment. I said, yeah, but don't. Well, she's from Pennsylvania, so it may be different than in Wisconsin. There's a 5-day waiting period before you can draw unemployment. So you're only going to get a portion of what you get. I don't no idea what Pennsylvania or Wisconsin unemployment is, but some states it's $80 a week, and some states maybe $250 a week. So it depends. And I said,
well, then if they're only shut down for a week, then
you don't really get it. So I said, well, Harley doesn't do anything for you guys. She said, no. And so I said, well, that kind of sucks. She goes, no, actually, it doesn't. And I'm like, why is that? She says, we don't get a lot of time off. You get your vacation and that's it. So she said, sometimes when they have these shutdowns, it's a time that we can get a lot of stuff done at home. We don't mind taking off, da 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 da. So she says, I like shutdowns, and a lot of us do. And I'm like, well, that tells me a lot because
that factory is open 24 hours a day. And they said, was it 800 a week or 800 a day?
800 a day.
800 motors a day.
Assembled.
Yeah.
So what they do is they told us everything was going to be roboted at the end, but we've seen a lot of people hand doing stuff, putting stuff in together and stuff. So I think the machine puts some of it together, but a lot of the small pieces they've got screw guns and impacts and stuff like that they were putting stuff together on. And then what they do is once a shift, which was they had a dyno room that had they had 4 different dyno rooms there, and you could hear them running a motor. And they said what they do is every shift they pull one motor out of the inventory, whatever they get done, and they put it in there and they check it out and
dyno it.
Yeah, and dyno it and make sure that there's no problem. And then they take it and they rip it completely apart and look at every little piece, check everything and make sure. So it's like, it is kind of neat. They seem to do a pretty good job. Now, of course, all motors are, there's always an option, something could happen. But I mean, they had the 135 motor there that they showed you that they build those there. So pretty much all the motors, I guess, are built there. But it wasn't that exciting to me. Most of the time when you're walking by, all you're doing is seeing parts that are in bins. But there was one bin that we seen that all the parts were just kind of thrown in there. They were actually casings. And some other guys walked up to it and they're looking in there. And I said, you know what those are, don't you? And they're like, what? I said, those are the rejects. And they're like, wow, you're probably right. Yeah, because they just threw them in there. Everything else is laid out.
Organized.
Yeah, everything. There's so many in every little. They got they're kind of like milk crates, but they're cut in half, but they're a lot bigger than that. And they have the different parts sitting in. Like I said, it was very interesting. If I would have had to pay to do it, I would have been very upset.
And like I said, it was an hour and a half. I can walk, but we did a lot of just standing. Standing is what I cannot do. There at the end, I was like, they have to come get me because I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And we walked around a few people because they're looking at all this stuff, and it's like, it's a machine. You've just seen a dozen of them doing this. That's all you can see. Anyway.
You said hi to Scott?
Yes, I did. I asked him where he lived around here. And he's the one that brought Neil out last year.
Oh, okay. So, like I say, it was nice to go through there. It was nice to look at the factory. I would have liked to have.
Look at this.
I would have liked to have somebody had different sections to explain. What they did is they had some big signs that were on A-frames, and they were like painters. What do they call those things? Easel. There you go. And they would tell you kind of like what they were doing in this section. But I mean, there was probably only 5 or 6 of those signs, and we went through 19 stations. And so,
they had people in the corners, and some people knew what was going on. Others were like, "I'm just here to tell you where to go."
Like there's one guy that I guess he works at the York plant, and they run every bike. They start it up and they run it like on a dyno machine before it leaves, and then every 5 or 6 bikes that come out, he has to take it out and run it in the parking lot. And I've seen that when I used to work but lived in St. Louis. The Corvette plant would do that. They'd run every Corvette out and did donuts with it, and then bring it back in. I said, wow, I wonder how many people know that their car was abused. But yeah, it was okay. I didn't like that we didn't get the film. Really wasn't much going on there. Like I say, there was more going on outside. Like I say, they had stunts going on out there, and if I would have known that they wouldn't have had the Isley brothers and the guys doing the steel wheel ball there, I would have went ahead and stayed there today and done that, because the jumping guys that was at 5. I only needed, how much can I show you guys? So we only need some of that, and I got it like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different stunts that we're doing. I got that film today, but I don't have anything else like that. So we either have to go back to the assembly thing tomorrow and look at that, or
So what was the second thing we did?
We went out to, is it Ukes?
I don't know. What did we
Oh,
do?
we went to the old factory.
It has the water tower. That's the factory we thought we were
Yeah,
going
and
to.
we asked a lot of people there at the factory. I'm like, does Harley still own it? And they're like, I don't know. Nobody knew nothing. We get there, Harley still owns it. They've got trucks. There was a couple semis that were inside. You could see them backed up to loading docks. So they're
Harley
probably
all over it.
yeah. So I'm assuming they're doing something with it. There's actually a training center that they had down there when we was pulling out. There was a training and catering lodge, catering thing. I guess they have banquets or something there maybe in the old building. And we even she's seen people in the archway or
the walkway.
Yeah, the walkway. It was glass, and you could see them inside there walking across. So there was people in it. There was a few of the windows and stuff were boarded up, like maybe they were doing modeling and stuff. But it was cool to be there. But what's really neat more than anything else is if you worked at the factory and you rode a motorcycle, you got to park around the building. Every spot in the front all said motorcycle parking only, motorcycle parking only. And so if you rode a motor, didn't say you had to have a Harley, it just said you had to have a motorcycle. So if you rode a motorcycle to work, you always got to park right up front. Now, bad news is it's not in the best part of town. We went down the street and we were going to eat at Wendy's.
Because we hadn't eaten yet, and it was like 2 o'clock or
so
1:30.
we pull up into the parking lot. And there's a couple cars to drive through. Didn't think nothing of it. It's only a small, very small parking lot. Probably had about 6 or 7 parking spots. Walk around to the front door and it's locked. Well, it's low income, very low income
area.
Yeah, and we checked a couple other places. They were what was the other place we drove through? It said Popeyes only had drive-through only open. So it's like, well, we got to get out of this neighborhood because it's. But right down the street from that, what was the other factory right there?
Oh, the Miller Light Factory.
No, Miller Beer.
Oh well.
They were there. So which is
factory.
really interesting about Milwaukee here. There's a lot of companies here.
A lot of breweries. Well, yeah. Somebody asked us on the other live or whatever we did. I guess it had to been a live. Did we do it live already? I don't remember. Anyway, they said, how many breweries have you seen since you've been there? And I said, a lot. And not only making a mess there, need a bid.
Drooling.
Not only big breweries, but also microbreweries and stuff. I mean, every corner it seems like.
Oh, you remember
like Starbucks.
Vern and Shirley? I think that's where they live. We're in Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, where's that factory at?
I don't think it was a real factory.
It has started to rain there yet. Not really. Sprinkle maybe. Not really rain.
It says on the internet. It says it's raining.
This morning it probably rained 10 minutes, and because when I took Charlie out the first time.
Was Rider X on?
Yeah.
Oh, he made it really big.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but it doesn't. You can't tell if we're in the picture or not anymore.
Oh, well. Yeah, you can see this.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah. There.
I'm about 100 miles north of Milwaukee. You're welcome to stop by and plug in for the day or so. But when we leave from here,
we're going south.
Yeah, we are going from here on Monday. We're going to be at the Parsons Museum. We've got an appointment with Mrs. Parson, and I guess I don't remember what her first name is. And we're going to might be, and we're going to meet with her, and she's going to give us a quick tour of it, and then we're going to talk to her about the bikes that I told her to kind of pick out the bikes she thinks are going to go for the biggest money, and we'll talk about those, and we'll have a video of that. Probably be coming out maybe Tuesday. I might have that video coming out. So that's what we're doing, and from there, then we head to Mitchell. We're probably going to stay one night in Mitchell. We don't know if we're going to go to Clockworks or if we're going to do digital gauges.
Sioux Falls.
Yeah. So I don't know what. One of the places we're going to stop. We'll call it Clockworks.
South Dakota is a huge state. It's almost like going through Texas.
Well, it's about 900 miles, about 1,000 miles all the way across.
It is. You wouldn't think it was.
It's not so big this way.
Yeah, it's longer than it is wider.
So, but yeah, so we always stay one night, and then that way we get into Sturgis, and it's not too late, and we can get in there. Usually start out about 7 in the morning. But see, when we get done with her at the interview, I'm not sure, but it could be noon or 1 o'clock. So we don't have a whole lot of time to drive to see how far we can get. The idea is probably that's the 17th, 18th. So we're still probably going to be pulling in the 19th into Sturgis, the Buffalo Chip. And we like to get there early so that way if they have any issues about where they're going to put us at, because usually when we get there, we're not as early as we normally are. But usually when we get there early, they're like, do we have the power on down there yet? Do we have that going yet?
They should, because they're gonna, they have adventure bike.
Yeah, so they shouldn't have any problem with getting us in there. But as I say, we could always park in the parking lot up top by the bar. They got electric right there. It's not a big deal.
Jacob says that's why we all call the beer and the cheese state. If we were numbered drunk state in America.
Yeah, we went by a cheese place today, and behind it was this place called, was it Alpine? Epine? What was that thing called? It was this factory was behind it. This big tin building. It was like a mile long. And I was like, wow. When I drove by, it was right behind the cheese place. I said, I wonder if that's where they make the cheese at. And so when we came back, when we went to eat at Culver's, and when we ate at Culver's, there was a guy actually had it on his shirt. And I said, hey, are you from down the road here? And he's like, yeah. I said, what do you guys do? Well, they're just a shipping company. They get stuff and ship it to other places and businesses and stuff like that. And I said, oh, I thought you were the cheese people because you were behind the cheese place. I wasn't sure what you guys were.
Freeway riding is all we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of it because we went 30 miles that way and then we went 30 miles that way. So after we went to the old factory, where'd we go?
Well, then we went over to Utes, Harley Davidson, which is down in Kenosha. That's where Adam Sandoval was. So we did get down there, and I got some footage of that. We didn't end up getting to talk to Adam. I think Adam is at the end of his rope.
It's been 120 days.
No, it wasn't 120 days. It was only 70-something days. He hit 2 dealers a day most times.
I thought it was 120 days, 120 dealers for the 120.
It was 120 dealers, but it wasn't. It was 70-something days that he did it in. And so he was on his bike, and we walked up to him, and I said, are you glad you're done, or we made it, or
no,
whatever?
I said you made it, and he was just like, hey.
He was trying to text somebody. I don't know who he said, I'll get with you in a minute. And so she stood there, and I started walking away, and I'm like, so I seen some of the dealer people, because we wanted to get out of there. There was probably, I don't know, 500 to 1,000 bikes, somewhere in that range that were there. A lot of YouTubers that are there, and you're going to see some of them yell at us when we're out driving by. We still hadn't ate lunch yet today, and here it is after 2 o'clock, and we haven't even ate anything. We haven't ate anything all day. So I'm like, we're going to go eat. So we could have sat on, I seen it once we sat in the Culver's, and I looked up, I could see the bikes going on the highway. And I thought it would last longer than it did. But there was a couple of police officers that came on bikes, but I didn't see them escorting them. So I don't know if everybody got to leave at the same time, because that's the problem with a lot of the stuff. Like when we met Adam before, he told us that they were only allowing 25 at a time because of traffic. You get all those bikes, it disrupts what's going on, and people get mad and they call and complain, and you know how that works.
The only problem I have about this valley, though, even though it's a nice valley, but the bike riding has long drives to dealerships and dealers.
Yes. We still haven't 84 days, he said, Larry said.
No,
Which is, but see what you got to look at real, because we haven't even made it down, which we did on the pre-day. We did go down to Wisconsin Harley and drove around and just looked around. We have not even gotten down there yet.
But that's 30 miles the other way. I mean, everything's like 30 miles.
And then Mexi Philly's over at Suburban, and I don't know if we're not even going to make it to Suburban. Okay. I don't really even know where it's at. I looked at it on the map, but I mean, it's not. We still got other things to do yet. So tomorrow, here's what we got going on tomorrow. We've got an appointment tomorrow. I won't say what time it is. We are meeting with the CEO of Harley Davidson. Now, we cannot bring cameras in. That's what they've told us. We're probably not even going to get to take pictures with him. I really would, because I just like to prove that we were there. But we are going to take a lot of notes. She's going to write, and I'm going to write too, of all the things that they say and all the stuff like that. And but it's a private deal that they've got going on. And it's supposed to be, somebody told us that, the girl that's in charge of, she goes, oh, you're set up for an interview. And I'm like, do we get to bring the cameras? Oh, no, you don't do that. They're going to kind of talk to you, and then you're just going to kind of, I don't know if we get to talk or not. We'll find out what happens. We'll tell you after it's over. We may go live right after it's done tomorrow and let you know what we found out from corporate Harley. And because we said, actually, we didn't really ask to talk to him. We really wanted to talk to Willie G, is who we asked, our corporate person that reached out to us. That's who I said we really wanted to meet with. but we're supposed to. We actually seen yesterday. The other, I thought you interviewed her at the Harley one. What's the place we went to? Is it the vendors?
Museum?
No, where the vendors were at yesterday.
Oh, House of Harley?
Yeah, that was one of the Davisons were there that wrote the book.
Oh.
That was the girl. Is her name Linda?
Karen.
Yeah.
Karen,
I thought you were gonna. And when I looked at the video, you didn't have nothing down. I left you, and I said, "Well, why don't you try to see if you can get her to say something?" You took a picture. You got a video of her with a couple of people, but that's it.
Thank you.
So.
So Ryder X got a 6'7" by 16 tandem utility trailer.
Did you buy a new one?
He said he got it in Florida, I think he said. Where did he say? I think he said Florida. Bought a trailer here in Florida yesterday. Can anyone guess what my dilemma is? Because he took his jet ski down there. She gave me water, but no ice.
There's probably you can't get your jet ski on there, or it's too big of a hitch to put on your vehicle. Because you've got to watch, what is it? 16 by 7? It's not that big.
7 by 16.
Now see,
Tandem.
Yeah, because it's only 7 foot wide. Yeah, that should be the only real issue you had.
There's Ray's Motor Life.
Yeah. He was on the line today.
We're having a good time. We are having fun. Lots to do here.
So now I have my jet ski and a jet ski trailer as well as a.
Oh.
Well, what you do?
So how are you going to get it home? Is that what you're saying?
Go down to Harbor Freight, get you a winch, bolt it to the front of the trailer, and then put a wheel on the jack where you jack it up with. Put a wheel on it. Put you a board in between, or go down to Harbor Freight and get you another little ramp to put in the middle, and winch that puppy up there, and then strap it all down on top of the trailer. We've seen people, which it is, they put.
But he's got his jet ski on it.
He can do that. Why not? You don't think you've never seen a semi-trailer pulling a boat with a trailer on it? Going down the highway? He doesn't pay attention much. He plays on the phone too much. But that's not uncommon. Yes. If you call the tow truck company, that's what they're going to do. They would put it on a flatbed trailer and do the exact same thing. Pull it up on there with the jet ski and everything on it. That's what I would do. Then you got the winch on it because it would be handy to use anytime you.
When to put the bike.
Because I'm assuming this is an open trailer.
That's what he wanted.
Yeah. So not an enclosed trailer. I'm assuming this is an open trailer. So if it's an open trailer, you'd have no trouble doing that. Once you get it on there, you strap it all down and no issues.
Yes, it was. The firefighter was at the house of Harley.
Harley. Oh, so that was the firefighter house of Harley police escort.
They had the day that we talked to them. They had the police escorted or the police ride, and the next day they were having the firefighter ride, and then the third day they were having breast cancer ride. Well, I was 2 weeks out for departure to go to Sturgis. Oh, that's right. He did say he got a new truck. Bisonville, downtown. I don't know where that is.
I don't know where we're at. The Facebook person's on. Says, "Good afternoon."
Bill Turner. He's up in Washington State.
Downtown by the Ford dealer, there will be some bike parking on the side and bike parking in different spots. What are we talking about?
I guess here. I don't know. It's a 2023. He has 2 trailers there. Yep, that's what it is. Hey, CJ. A heap of scuba stuff. There you go. We've never been scuba diving, but we've been snorkeling. The plan is to load the jet ski trailer on the utility trailer and tow it back to Virginia. Is that a dangerous proposition?
You're probably going to scratch your jet ski all up trying to put it on that trailer because you don't have the bumper boards to where you can slide it on there. So I would put the whole trailer on there. That's what I would do.
See what Dennis says. Actually safe where Crystal River empties into the Gulf, shallows, ski, and along to collect the grill and grill them up. Yep. You know, buy a toy hauler in September, October. There you go.
And it's getting to be a good time to buy it because it's getting cheaper now.
Property and stuff.
It's a And Mike should know because he's a trucker.
Yep.
Get down there. He's sometimes down there by Georgia. Maybe he can swing by and show you how to put that puppy on the
In
trailer.
Florida, yep.
Any YouTuber meetups going on? Yeah.
Harley.
Is there any?
Want to meet other YouTubers? And here in Wisconsin, we reached out to the Badgers, so we're going to try to.
Well, I don't think there's a Doc Harley here, is there?
I don't know. The only Doc Harley I know is in St. Louis.
Yeah, but there's a couple of them. Doc Harley in Wisconsin. So we checked with
the Badgers.
Yeah, Shawnee County. Let's see what it's. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
It's pretty far away. It's way up on the other side of Green Bay.
Wow.
Not that I know of. That's pretty far. There's a few YouTubers here, and we've reached out to them and said, you know, hey, if you guys are going to do any meetups, let us know. We'd schedule it.
We'd meet up with you?
Yeah, we'd meet up with them, and you guys can meet up with them. Suburban Harley Davidson, sorry, didn't make it clear.
No.
I don't know. No, right now, there is no meetups that I know of. We didn't set nothing up because we really didn't have enough people saying that they were interested.
How far away is Suburban? Because that's
no,
where
that's the way. It's not that far, but it's just one
probably
more place
30
to go.
miles away.
Suburban Harley Davidson directions too.
Because tomorrow it's supposed to start raining. Oh, not till 9 o'clock.
No, it's not raining anymore. You're messing up my thing. You talked to 9 o'clock. Directions to Suburban Harley Davidson. I looked at it before. Yeah, it's 30 miles from where we're at. It's up the coast. So at this moment, I don't think we're going to make it there. We're going to try our best tomorrow. We've got our meeting tomorrow in the AM with corporate CEO. That's first thing. I'm not going to miss that. So we're going to do that. And then we have to see how everything goes after that. What else we're going to do. We're going to be on the museum property anyway. That's where we got to meet them up in the museum, up in the offices upstairs. And so we're going to do that. So once that's done, I really want to get out to Wisconsin, Harley. One, a lot of our vendors that we know, our friends are out there. It would be really great just to say hi to them. I've never been to that dealership. I kind of wanted somebody today to talk to. What was it? Yikes. I would really like to talk to somebody there. But I mean, I went inside and walked around. All I seen was salesmen. I seen two guys selling. They didn't have hardly no bikes at all, but there were some bikes outside. I didn't look at them. They only had like 12 bikes inside. It was kind of sad. And so it was. So I kind of was short and sweet, and that was it. Mainly, it was so crowded because everybody was there for Adam, and so then they all took off, and I seen he did a little. I think he ended up having somebody. I was wondering how he was doing his videos. He ended up saying they had a chase car that was helping him set up stuff, and so I'm thinking those girls must have came with him again and edited, because somebody else was filming it today.
Oh, was it?
And she was screaming in the background, and you couldn't hear half the time. When they wrote the check, you couldn't hear the exact amount. It was
90,000.
Yeah, $91,038 or something. And so they broke the record of what they wanted, and that's great. And Adam's a great guy, and he probably won't do this again. And because he looked, when we seen him leaving the dealership, he was beat. And even when we talked to Ashley, she wasn't overly joyed either. She had her son with her.
It was hot. It's probably been a long.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know how long. I asked how long she'd been with him, and she didn't really say. And so.
So Street Rod Solo, I don't know if there's any vegetarian or vegan meals around. I'm not looking for it, so I don't know.
Where,
I haven't seen anything. Yeah.
Oh, I would say there is.
Because there are a lot of foreigners here, so I don't know. I don't know if that makes a difference.
I would say there is. You just got to ask around. We're not looking, so we don't eat it, so we're not. Chat salad day, that's vegan.
Yep. With cashews.
Chicken.
They did have chicken in it too, but cashews.
Heard of Pizza Ranch and Surges under new man. Yes, we did. And we heard they're not going to be raising the prices this year. You know, they only raised it a few bucks. It wasn't like the steak place down there. We won't even go there no more. That one, it's like a 1 or 2 exits
double the
down.
Prices, elk something.
Yeah, and we won't even go there anymore. And it wasn't that good of food to start with. But yeah, Pizza Ranch can be really neat. We're going to do an interview with them as soon as we get to town. That'll be one of our first interviews we do to tell you, the new management. And because they did, the first year we went out there, the food was really excellent and everything else there. And then when we were out there last year, it really wasn't as good as it's been before. And they said somebody new had took over at that time. So that guy must have not made it very long, or girl, I don't know who owned it. And then somebody else bought it now. So they got new owners and new management. So it's kind of nice.
Hey, GRN says he's at full throttle working. How about that?
So are you working with
Michael?
Michael? Are you working with Jesse? He'll tell us where he's working at.
I don't know.
Who's working for him?
Traveled from Connecticut. He is there. Oh, maybe it's a YouTuber. Doc Harley.
Yeah. I've seen it. Okay, I know who you're talking about now. I've seen him. I can see him here. There's a lot of people here. The bad news is there's movie stars and stuff here. They said Jesse James, the bike builder, he's here. We haven't run into him.
Well, the guy that was at the Legends ride last year.
Yeah, the guy that was from the Terminator.
Yeah.
He was a bad guy.
He was there. I was like standing right next to him trying to get to Willie G.
I was, yeah, I didn't see him.
Yeah.
I didn't see him out there.
Yeah, he was out there.
I didn't see him.
Hate to be pushy, but what's the breaking news? I am sitting on pins and needles over here.
All right, been long enough, I guess.
You just
what it is? That is the breaking news. I already told you. We're meeting with the CEO tomorrow at Harley. That's the big news.
At the museum.
So we always talk about, because there's a lot of channels that say, oh, I got this, I got that from Harley, I got that. We're actually going to get to sit down with the CEO of Harley Davidson. Maybe, I always look at that. To me, it's an honor that he's taking the time out to chat with us a few seconds or a few minutes. I don't know how long it's going to be. I think we got an hour is what it's set up for. And so, to have this opportunity to talk with him and maybe, I don't know if we get to ask any questions. We're not being told yet. We were just, because what we did is we asked our corporate person that we have at Harley that's got us all the stuff that we got here, all these, can't see the camera, all these fancy bracelets we got on to get in all the places. And he got us all this, and we've gotten the red carpet treatment, not to brag or anything, but I mean, we got to the museum. As soon as we said who we are, they're like, let's go, we'll take you in. And we went around the back way, came around, and right there, she goes, I'll hang around with you guys a few minutes. If you had any questions, let us know. We're like, no, we're just going to kind of film some bikes. And, and she was there a few seconds. I turned around, she was there. And the next time I turned around, she was gone. And that was fine. And
he raised $590,000 is what we heard.
Yeah, well, he announced it on his video. He did a video today. It's 500. It was $500,938 or something, I think it was. I couldn't hardly hear because the girl that was filming for him screams when he announces it. So I kind of zoomed in on the check, and that's how I kind of got what it is. But she got a little too excited for videotaping, and
that's cool.
So,
it's neat. He's a great. He does a great job and for a great cause, and I think he took a beating this round.
And he kind of said on the stage, if you watch his video, it wasn't a very long video. I kind of watched it today when I was downloading my videos from the day, all the shots I had. And he kind of said, who's thankful for, why he did this. And the reason he kind of got into it was because of the corporate sponsors that he did get, that he really liked that. And like I said, he's done stuff with Harley before. I wasn't quite sure that he would do it again since they kind of left on bad terms the last time. But I guess maybe they've mended bridges with him and it all worked out. And I don't know if they gave the bike away. If they gave the bike, I didn't watch all the way to the end of the video. I know they should have gave the bike away today.
Dave's crazy trailer says he's going to win it. So we'll see. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Tom Kent wants to know what's going on with Orange County choppers these days. Have you heard anything about them?
The one in Florida?
I'm assuming.
No. What did they tell us? Are they? I think somebody said they're coming back out with another reality show. I think that's what I heard.
PNR says working with Tim, who is working for Michael. Tom, who is working for Michael. Okay. I guess maybe he answered this question.
Yeah.
There's Lucky Red Hawk.
You're bragging. Well, which it's one of the things that we specialize in, and because people always say, why do I do this? And these are two of the reasons I do this. One, I love to help people. I more than anything else, when people come up to us and say, oh man, I had one today. oh man, I watched your videos this year in Daytona. He says, I had everything planned before I pulled up. I knew everything I wanted to do because of your videos. And that's priceless to me. The second thing is the connections that we've made in this industry. And it's unbelievable. It's I'm not saying I can get anything that I want, but it's just the people, like just like the museum in the Parsons Museum. We called somebody up and said, hey, we need a connection. We need somebody that we can talk to. We need to. I don't want to. First of all, I don't want to pay to go in because we're just going to film some stuff and leave. I'm not. I'm not. You know, I'm not there to be a tourist. I'm not there to be. I'm there to work. And so this person we called said, hey, here's here's her personal phone number, her voicemail or her cell phone. And so Tam calls her cell phone, leaves a message. She probably called back in 5 minutes, and I picked the phone up.
Because I was on the phone with somebody else.
Yeah. So I talked to her a few minutes, kind of told her what we wanted to do, and she said, well, that's great, great. I said, well, we kind of work with Mecum Auction. Oh, they're going to be here on the 18th. I said, good, we're beating them there. And I get our video out before Mecum does. And so I'm kind of excited. They're more coming to film the bikes. They're not really coming to talk to her, which we're coming to talk to her. And plus show you some of the great bikes that they have. So I'm kind of excited because we won't, it's not a big enough, it's not justifiable. Mecum's not going to pay us to come and videotape 300 motorcycles and watch them auction them off. So I can't justify coming back, but I really wanted to make a chance to go in there and see them, especially since we've got a good relationship with JMP Cycles.
Terry says Sandoval raised 600,000. Close to it.
Well, they might have got that after maybe there was more money given after he announced the check. I just seen him announce the check, and that's all I seen. I don't know if more people gave more money or not.
Hit him up for a couple of short shots. Shares of stock. No, the CEO.
I don't know if he's going to give us any stocks. We're not that good of friends with him or anything. Or we don't want to. I'm not necessarily wanting to invest in the Harley Davidson. But there is something I'm going to ask for. I don't know if this is going to be my opportunity to ask what I want, but we'll see. And so we'll tell you. We'll give you some breaking news. This has not happened yet, but you never know what we can do. And that's right. So I don't ever, if I'm very open to whatever's going to happen. If he's just going to sit there and tell us, here's what I'm looking at to do this year and that's great. Because if we can get some inside information about something that he wants to tell us or talk about, hey, I'm all right with just sitting there and listening to him talk. I'm not an expert. I'm not a CEO of a company, never have been. So I'm okay with whatever this is going to turn out to be. But here's what we're looking, you never know until you ask for something. I like these new CVOs that they just announced. And they're really sharp. I sat on one today and I kind of talked a little bit about it, and it'll be on tomorrow's video. A couple things I didn't like about it. I'll tell you the things too. One thing I did not like, the heel toe shifter. If you ain't got a size 13 foot, you ain't going to be able to heel toe shift it. It's too far. It's my whole boot fit between the two. So if I downshift, I've got to go that way. I got to move my foot forward, and then to go the other way, I guess. We're going, yeah. So backwards is upshifting. You do it so much, I don't even pay attention. I don't really think about how I shift. I just do it. And so I got to move my foot back.
Didn't you have to do something with mine? Was it mine too far away?
Yeah, I just adjusted. All you had to do is adjust it up. But if you did that, it would be really high up. If you adjusted this one, because the arms were like this long. So if you adjusted it, it would be up high enough. Yours wasn't. So when I kicked it up, it worked. Or did I change your? Maybe I got different ones for yours. I don't know. I don't remember what. I think your bike didn't originally come with one, and I went and bought a gear. Bought the second one so you could heel toe it. So I fixed that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer to Harley Davidson what I've learned in the business that I do. I learned this in the union. What's in it for when you go and ask for something for somebody to do something for you, especially corporate America. The first thing they're going to say is, what's in it for us? So what's in it for Harley Davidson? Here's what I want. I want a new CVO. I want one for all of next year to take to all the rallies. We'll talk about it. We'll ride it. We'll tell you all the great things I like about it, what I don't like about it. And we'll see what they say. If they say, hey, we might like that. Or they might say, Now we're not interested. So I'm okay with either one. Never know, I might buy one if I wrote it more. At this moment, I'm not looking to buy one, but I like this. To me, is I've owned this 2014 CVO, and people's always ask all the time, why don't you buy a new bike? Why don't you buy? They haven't changed the freaking CVO in the last, well, that's almost 20 years. No, 10 years, I guess.
10 years.
10 years. 10 years, they really haven't done anything. They changed the paint. They put some different grips on it. Who the hell cares? Well, they put a couple, 117 motor in it. Well, the 117 didn't run any better than my 110 did, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm not that big of interested in the motor. 121's nice to have, but that's not the main thing. But I mean, I like the new dash they have on it. I like the new fairing that they're putting on the bike. Overall, I really like, they've already got the nitrogen shocks all set up. I show you how to adjust them. It really, and this is just stuff I'm looking at. Nobody's trying to sell me one, but it's very interesting. But somebody say, oh, they probably would never give you a bike. But what you got to think about is how much you think it cost them to make that commercial that showed you these Harleys driving down the road and the people talking and that. I can tell you how much that cost. It was somewhere between $150,000 to $200,000 for that video to come out. Okay.
You got to pay to have it on TV.
Yeah. Well, mainly I think they did on social media, more or less is what they did. So how many bikes did they sell in that? Because it's a freaking commercial. All the people they're all actors, they're all people that it's. But you all know me. I'm gonna pretty much tell you the way it is, and we're gonna do one more. We're gonna try to, since we're doing all these rallies, we're gonna approach Ford Motor Company to see about getting a truck for next year to see if they would like to sponsor us with a truck. That would save miles on my truck. That would make life with us easy. I'm not asking them to pay for the gas, but definitely they paid for the insurance and all that good stuff that they normally would have to insure the truck. But hey, I would love to be driving a 2023 or a 2024 next year, F-250 and diesel, or maybe a 1-ton diesel to pull our RV around. Yeah, I'm okay with that. But once again, you never know till you ask. I used to work for a utility
Worst
company.
thing they can say is no, right?
That's right. And it's not going to hurt my feelings either way. It just makes a decision on what we do next year. Because what we have to look at with this is we're not making a killing on what we do. And I'd love it. I really enjoy what we do. Just like here, I'm having a really good time. Some's not as, I wasn't real happy with what happened today at the
factory.
At the Veterans Park.
Oh.
The factory was what it was. It was, it didn't cost me nothing. It was interesting, but I mean, it wasn't. If I would have had to pay for it, I'd been pissed. But I mean, it was free. All the employees were very nice. Free safety classes, yeah, for an hour and a half of my time.
So Scott said that Doc's up in Swanee it's a great place to go visit. They also have an auto museum, a restaurant, and a zoo.
Oh, I seen that. I seen that on. I think I told somebody I was going to try to get into that. We ain't got time to go with that far. That ain't going to happen. But it would be neat to go there. I think I showed the video on that where they had the zoo. That would be really neat to go. We're just not going to have time on this trip. If we wouldn't have been going to see the Parsons Museum, then yes, we could have made the extra trip up there and spent an extra day going up, stay there overnight, and then check them out and leave the next day. But this way, it's not going to work. And that's what we do. We've got to get to Sturgis. I'm already so far behind on Sturgis right now. It's ridiculous. I can't get here. I've been spoiled the last 2 years by getting there before the 4th, and we had so much time to get ready. Here, we're going to get there, and I got to get right on the Venture Bike Weekend's going to start. So I'm going to be busy for those 3 days. During the day, we got time, so we're going to be able they go out and ride all day. So we get them in the morning, we get them in the afternoon, and they come back off their rides. But the rest of the time, they're not there during the day. So we got some time to go in town and talk to some of the places that we need to talk to and stuff. Even though we're staying at the Buffalo Chip and we're doing all Buffalo Chip content starting on the 4th, all the way up to the rally, we're going to give you all the great stuff that we always give you. We've got a bunch of interviews already set up with different companies. We're actually going to be, which I don't know when this video is going to come out. We are actually, one more place we're going. We've got the Sturgis Museum. We're doing the inductees to the Hall of Fame. So, hey. And once again, we called our favorite person.
Well, that Jill Parham is going to be inducted.
No, she was already.
Oh, she was already
inducted.
Okay. Yeah, okay. And Jay Allen.
Jay Allen's that we know. There's somebody else that I looked up that said they're going to be and because Jay Allen asked us. Jay Allen's the one that's been on our. He's a great announcer. He actually used to own all the Broken Spokes, and he sold them, and a lot of them turned into the Iron Horses. And but he still does the announcement down in Daytona. If you go to Broken Spoke and hear the announcer, that's Jay Allen.
And he does it at TMMR.
He does it in Galveston too. And he's just a great guy. We love him. He's just been, which it is. We've made. That's why I love. That's why I love doing this too. We have met some. Besides meeting you guys, which is great.
Yeah,
we have met so many professional people in this industry. You know, Billy Lane, you know, we've got access to him and just endless amounts of people. Hey, maybe I will get lucky tomorrow and we'll get the phone number for the CEO. I doubt it, but you never know. All I got to do is ask. You never know. And then people whip that number out and give it to you. So
and if we would have known, we probably would have gotten to go to a really cool event on Friday.
Which was the dealers banquet. And they had a big party for them. Well, we know enough dealers, we could have called them and they would have brought us in. I know we could have got in there. And I had no idea till after we found out half of Black Hills Harley, they'd already gone home. Wilkins had already gone home. And so it was like, wow, we should have.
Teddy Morris was there.
Yeah, we could have got in without any. They would have probably, we could have just walked up and they would all say, hey, we know these guys. Hey, it's Bob and Tim. Hey, come on in. That's all we would have done.
So Random Stuff with Joe said that Adam and Dave, the Canadian, topped the pot and rounded it off to 600,000.
Okay.
The two of them split the $8,000 difference.
Okay.
So they both gave 4,000.
Okay. That's kind of neat.
And they said that the guy that actually won the bike was there, and he got to go up on stage.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yep. So shifter with the chieftain is perfectly positioned. I love it. Oh, that's cool. Just buy a pair of size cheaper boots. Change size. There's Shauna. How you doing? I haven't heard from you in a long time. How's those boys doing? MS Motor New.
M8.
Oh, throwing my glasses on.
So they were making all, and that's what we seen at the factory today. M8s is what they're making. We hope to see you again soon.
Well, I didn't get the one above it. You want that one that doesn't have the 13-inch boot in Tokyo. And I don't know, maybe they just had it. Do they make different sizes than those?
I don't know what that is. Like I said, they're not even on the demo truck yet. So I don't know when production is. When I didn't get the chance to really talk to anybody about the bikes and stuff yet. Because a lot of times when you go and like they have this by the museum, it's a museum complex is what I guess they call this. They have this room that's got all the new bikes in it, new colors and all that stuff. And there's people standing there to talk to. But some of these people that I ask questions to don't really have any answers for what I'm asking. So I think they're more there to stop you from jumping up and down on the bike or putting kids on and trying to break something.
That's when you want the ultra limited?
Yeah.
You don't want the road glide?
No, I don't want the road glide.
Just a pair of size 14 cheap boots when you get to
everybody wants that.
I don't know.
Some
manufacturers do give out a long-term bike to YouTubers. BMW gave her 2 wheels.
Oh yeah, which I know that. Which I have seen that. You know, they gave the Henry one got that bike for the time being to do all that stuff that he did to that. And so yes, I do know. But that's what I said. It's something that normally I wouldn't reach out for something that I'm not interested in. But most people, what we're being attracted by now is we may not be the biggest YouTube channel out here, but a couple things that people like about us is we're very thorough. You know, we give out information. Like I talked to the guy behind us in the campground where we're at. He's one of these guys been in Sturgis, I don't know, 100 times or whatever he said. But it's like when I started saying some stuff to his wife, she goes, hey, come over here and listen to this guy. And I told him a couple things and he's like, oh, where's that at? Oh, where's that at? I said, watch your freaking videos and I'll show you where all that stuff is at. I said, that's the problem with everybody. Everybody that goes to a rally, and we're guilty of this too, that you go and do the same crap every year. You know, just like when we go down to Florida, we eat at the same freaking places all the time because you go there, you had good food, you had good service, you're happy with it. It's a safe place. Let's just stay there. But
Ryder says, don't talk too much, you might get kicked out. I don't know how much we're going to get to talk. I don't know. Somebody asked who our favorite YouTuber was.
We don't really have a favorite YouTuber. We have some people, we don't really watch very many motorcycle people. That's for sure. So a couple of people that I don't really have a favorite one. Some of you we've told before that we Wonder Hussy. We do watch her once in a while. She's an adventurer. She does a lot of spa. She does a lot of desert stuff. Single
Hot
gal.
springs.
We watch Nomadic Fanatic. We've been watching him off and on for ever since we started watching YouTube. He's been on our channel. He bought a Harley in Daytona, and he came on our channel. He's got, I don't know, 300,000 or 400,000 subscribers. We watch
Adam Sandoval.
Adam Sandoval a little bit. I don't watch Adam that much. I used to be a bigger fan of Adam Sandoval when he was doing all the rides, going to the dealerships and stuff.
What's on this phone?
I kind of, well, see, the problem that I've done now is by being a YouTuber, meeting other YouTubers now are not, I don't want to say it's not impressive, but it's not like meeting a movie star. So when we used to meet, like when we met Adam Sandoval the first time, he kind of disappointed me because he wasn't as friendly as I expected him to be, and he kind of gave us the brush off. And people say that. Some people have said that about the Monkey Man, and then other people, you might just hit somebody at a bad time. So I looked at, because we were the same way. We sat at home and watched it on a 55-inch TV in our bedroom. So it's like watching movie stars. Well, then we tried to meet a lot of different YouTubers before we got into being this. And a lot of them would blow us off, or they'd say, "Oh yeah, I'll call you," and never called you, and all this stuff. So it's kind of like,
that's why we try to make a point to meet all of you guys.
Yeah. So once we became a YouTuber, and we said, "Screw that," I got Prime Cut Pro. Kelly watches us. He's got almost 1 million followers. And he's a good friend of ours. We got his phone number. We can call him anytime we want. We meet up and have dinner together. So so I have a lot of some of you are in here now that are YouTubers that are very good friends of ours, and which is fine. It's great that we have a common interest. We share YouTube, but by meeting, even if I met the biggest YouTuber out there, which is I just watched him last night. Yeah,
Mr. Beast.
Mr. B, Mr. Beast, yeah, Mr. B, whatever it is. But I mean, I wouldn't. It'd be nice to meet the guy, but I'm not going to go out of my way to find him. If he was, let's say, he was on the other side of Milwaukee, and let's say he's at Suburban Motors or Suburban Harley, and unless he called and said he wanted to meet us, I would, if somebody said, "Hey, he's up there, why don't you go check it out?" I'm like, "No, I'm not that interested." By the time I get up there, he's probably gonna be gone, or I'm not a big fan of his. Just because he's got 7 billion subscribers, but I mean, which is funny. Go back and watch some of his earlier stuff. It's funny. It's like us. Go back. I've been redoing some editing for doing the teasers for Sturgis, and when I did those videos, I went back and watched us talk, and it was like, okay, we're at the Harley dealer, and I'm like, man, I can't even watch that crap. And I'm like, man, we were really bad. That's just a couple of years ago. So we try to improve, and it's kind of like the video I did yesterday that came out today. I tried to do that a totally different style of editing. I tried to make it more interesting at the beginning. Instead of hearing us talk right away, throw some teasers in there. And I think that, which it is, the video is doing better than anything I've had in the last month. So I'm kind of happy about that. My other videos old videos are starting to regenerate, because that's what happens with YouTube. Once YouTube,
should probably do my attacking video, re-edit it and do it.
I don't know, you can't really do that on the road, can you?
Re-edit the one we did last year.
Oh.
Re-edited all the other ones.
I know you didn't talk again for it. So, but I mean, you don't do one sexy biker chick. Take a bag down there. Take our, no, I guess we didn't bring our bag.
We don't have enough time. I'm just telling you.
You got plenty of time. You could be doing something. I'll do something else. I'll drop you off. I go talk to Uncle Louie. You go talk to her.
It was, does that say heartening?
Were you watching the blue one?
Yeah.
It was heartening to see your names in the official Harley Davidson mailer as one of the famous YouTubers to watch out for at the event, along with them.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that. Didn't know that either. So once again, our corporate guy, send me a copy of it. Take a picture and email it to us. So,
where's our?
So that's what we did. What happened is in Daytona, we got approached by corporate, and they kind of talked to us a little bit. And see what's happened now, especially now, is we've had so many people that have reached out to us. That's why we're going to Ocean City. That's why we're going to Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue this year, which wasn't planned, because people reached out to us and said, "We want you at our event. We need you at our event." And it's like Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue. We're going to get there on Monday. We're going to be meeting with the chief of police. We're going to be meeting with the cities. We're going to be meeting with Pigtail Harley. We got all this stuff. It's already arranged before we even get there. So we don't even have to do the legwork. Somebody else has already done it for us. So
just have to meet, show up, and interview them.
Yeah, and edit it and put it out. And so I'm really excited about it. We're getting a free bike to ride around on, free place to stay. And so it's like, these people are like, we want you at our event. What will it take for you to come? And it's like, well, I don't know. We really didn't want to drive 1,000 miles across. The problem I have, which is what I have now, my truck's getting I got 125,000 miles on my truck now. And I'm going to end up needing a new truck soon if I keep driving like this. So it's lightning now. I see lightning in the background. And so that's when I thought, before I thought about asking Harley for a motorcycle, I thought, why don't we ask, just leave it alone. You're going to lose something, what you're going to do.
Well, I wanted to see how long I have no idea how long we've been on. That doesn't tell you there either. It's up there in the other corner. It's
because you messed with it.
Well, I like it. I can see it.
And well, you look and see what time it is.
What time did you start?
I don't know. Oh, we've been on about an hour and a half.
All right.
Because we started at, I guess it's a little over an hour. I think it was 8:20. Yeah, 8:20 is when we came on. It's 9:30 now.
All right.
So just a little over an hour. We'll quit it here in just a minute. But that's when I thought, hey, why don't we get a hold of corporate Harley or corporate Ford and say, because Ford's having some issues going on now too.
Which Adam? Adam Sandoval? We know Adam Sandoval and we know Adam Amsoil.
Yeah.
Both Adams. Sometimes it gets a little confusing. It says, are you all friends with Adam?
Depends. Well, they all know we're friends with Adam Amsoil, private friends with Adam Sandoval. So yes, I went down for 2 weeks and helped him do his work on his campground. I can do electric and plumbing, which you see the building. I'm doing some of that, and so I did that. And he'll when we see him, he puts us on our video. I was going to put him on my video today, but I think he was at his breaking point, and he was just like
one last
he's
stop.
Like,
and
give me a minute.
Done.
He says, give me a minute. And so I waited a few seconds, and I'm one of these guys, I don't have time. And there's a million people that's going to put videos out on this ride today. Okay. So that's one of the other reasons it's kind of like going to Adam's campground anymore. I don't go to, what does he call it?
River?
Starving. No, what's he called? The annual party.
Stubborn America.
Yeah. Stubborn America. I'm not going to go to that. Why would you say? Because there's already 5 or 6 different or 10 different YouTubers down there. Why? Why do we need to put it out? I don't need to put that out. So I don't need to go there. If it's, the first year I went, there was only a couple people there. But we were the only ones putting a video out every day. Same thing then. But I mean, I don't, we also have to look at what gets content views. If I go down to Adam Sandoval, it's just like I said, if you look at people that are putting Adam Sandoval videos out, they're not getting any kind of real views. I don't go and look at their channel and see what they normally get. But I mean, if you're only getting 400 or 500 views, was it really worth it? But I mean, I did enjoy meeting Adam this year. We seen him at Panama City, and we wanted to support his cause. We gave him some money and all that. So we wanted to give him the money and then ride with him a little bit. And he chatted with us a few minutes before the ride and stuff. He took us off to the side and talked to us. And normally he's pretty good about that with us now. And but I mean, I gave him a lot of free labor and stuff the couple of years that I went down there. Even the last time I went down there to YouTube it, and I told him I didn't want to work, and I ended up helping. What's his name? Daryl. Helped Daryl with a major power outage that they had. And I'm like, all right, let me help you. And me and Daryl get along real good too. Not at first, but we ended up working out all right. But yeah, most YouTubers, there's only a couple YouTubers I don't dislike them. I just don't have time of day for them. One is somebody that kind of screwed a bunch of veterans, and another one is somebody that kind of screwed us. And I have no hard feelings on either one of them. It's just they're not going to be on our channel, and I don't, I say hi to them and shake their hand and stuff like that. But that's my extent of, I'm not going on a ride with them, and they're not coming on our channel, and that's just the way it is. But other than that, everybody else, even a lot of people thought me and the Monkey Man was all upset, and he actually came on one of our lives the other night and said stuff. And I know he watches our channel, he subscribes to our channel, because a lot of times when I talk about stuff, I don't call him out, I don't call anybody out. But if I see stuff going on YouTube, and let's say it's somebody that's putting stuff, every video is a sales video. it's like, dude, are you an infomercial channel or are you a YouTube channel? You know? And so when I've said stuff, I see other YouTubers watch us and they go off of what I recommend. Or I say, it's like us. I'd like to do a tech thing, but it would be like Thursday. Every Thursday we would do a tech Thursday. And we would talk about that, bring people on the show. And we still want to do that. If we get the garage all set up and everything, we probably will. Adam Amsoil, got all my Adams mixed up now. He's going to come out in January. We got to get all that set up too. You never called about the condo. They can stay with us out there. And he wants to come out for the Mecum auction, and I'm going to get him in there. And then he was going to help me rebuild a twin cam. I got to get one of those yet. I'm going to call speeds on that. If we can pick it up and take it home on the way home. The motor. I don't take that much room up. Throw it in the back of the truck.
So they want to know if you ate yet, and how would you rate the barbecue here, 1 to 10? We did eat already. I had burnt ends and corn muffins.
The cornbread was really good. It had like a glaze on it.
Yeah,
I really like that. The barbecue, it was like, it wasn't. I got the pulled pork. It wasn't really pulled pork. It was more like they cooked it and just pulled it apart with a knife. Well, but pulled pork's more stringy. Like when I open a sandwich, more stringy. This had like chunks on it, and plus it was burnt. I don't like the outside of stuff like that.
Like I was raised with
the
burnt
taste.
stuff.
The barbecue sauce was good. I like that. My fries were cold. They were warm when I got them. It was as we eating, they got cold. And I'm not a complainer.
Fast enough.
Yeah, I guess not. And so but I mean, I'd probably say it's maybe 6. But I mean, the place is really cool looking. But it might.
I don't know if you can
See
all these plants. They've got plants like it looks like a jungle in here.
Yeah. It's a really cool place. The bathroom's really clean. I used that a while ago.
I don't know what wrapped means.
See?
WRAPPED.
What was he saying? Something else?
No.
Who said that?
They just said that Mike. Well, this was the last one. Have you ate yet? And then Hoghead Bill said wrapped. I don't know what that means.
Oh, I don't know.
X, what's your Facebook? Exactly. That is exactly what pulled pork is. I guess it was more chopped than pulled, I guess is what he's trying to say.
It was chunks.
It was chunks instead of. He's very picky. Imagine that.
I was almost going to guess that it was beef at first.
Oh, you thought?
Yeah, but it wasn't. But it didn't have the pork taste that I like. It wasn't really smoked, I don't think. It didn't really have a smoky taste.
Mine was good. I got the burnt ends. I like them.
Yeah, she likes that. But
how was the weather? The weather overall hasn't been too bad.
It's not supposed to rain tomorrow. It's supposed to rain tonight until probably about midnight. It's just seen some lightning if you guys were watching a minute ago. But other than that, that's kind of all that's, we really haven't. It sprinkled a little bit this morning. Actually, the sun was out, and I'm like, it's supposed to be raining. She goes, no, it's not. And I looked out and said, yeah, its truck's all wet now. It wasn't raining a minute ago when I was out there with the dog.
Well, it was this morning, yeah, because I took Charlie out. We walked. The sun was out. It was nice and sunny and blue skies, not a cloud.
Just an update on Charlie, not doing so well. Got some issues. We figure, I'm thinking at this time, he's probably got cancer in his stomach or someplace. And we're not going to pay all that money to have sonograms and all that stuff done. If things don't change, we'll probably have to put him down once we get to Sturgis, because I don't want to put him in a kennel for the 15 days by himself.
No, he wouldn't
be too
make
hard for him, and because he really wants to be with people right now.
He wants me to just lay there with him.
Yeah. So he wants. That's why he's getting up. He's waking up now at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. He puts his head on. He wants to be petted right away, and it's like, well, he used to sleep until you got out of bed. He would not get up. He could sleep till noon.
And he just looks at you like, help me, or I don't know what's going on. So
he's got, like today was really mopey. She was afraid to get home tonight and he wouldn't be alive. And so when we got home, he finished eating his bowl of food that we left this morning. And
I gave him a little bit more.
He went out and walked around and he's wagging his tail and stuff. So he's, he seems okay. But I mean, but that's what happens. We get about 3 good days of his health, and it's, as I said, he's losing weight, and so yeah, so we contacted our daughter that's moving, and if she wants to come up and get him before he goes in the kennel, then they can make the decision when it's time to let him go. And but we're not gonna leave him in the kennel for.
No. Well, it wouldn't be fair to them too, because he's, getting sick and the diarrhea stopped, but he's still. I took him out. He ate this morning. Like I said, he got up really early. I took him out. He went to the bathroom. I fed him. We laid back down for a little bit. And then we got up and.
It all came back out.
Well, it was probably 2 hours later and he was working on the video. And I said, well, all right, I got everything done and caught up. And I said, let's go for a little walk. So we went out and we walked. And I could tell he was going to throw up. And he threw up. And then it was just, they just laid down there for a little while.
So I don't know. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, but
we're still feeding, still got hope, but I think there's something.
He's still eating, still going to the bathroom, but he's, getting sick is not a good thing.
Yeah. So he's lasting about 3 days, and that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
You think there's a lot of people?
Is it rally here?
You know what is weird? This is what I think is weird. Whenever we go to a place, there's tons of people, tons of bikes. But driving around, I don't see a whole lot.
I think it's because like today we're going out there. I've probably seen 20, maybe more than that. We've probably seen about 50 bikes coming this way.
Yeah.
On the other side. But I think it's because of all the highways and which it is. If you probably just drive around here, I didn't look at the bike yet, but I bet you we put 300 or 400 miles on the bike already.
That's what somebody asked how much we did.
Because you're constantly on the highway and it's like 30 miles everywhere you're going.
Thanks, Terry.
And the road's rough as hell.
Thanks, Terry. I know. He's been a good dog.
He's 11.
Yeah. By saying hi to each other, prayers for Charlie.
We've had labs last anywhere from 9 to 15. We've only had one make it to 15. He wasn't a purebred.
And he was our first one. And we used to give him Old Roy dog food from Walmart, and that's all he ever ate. And he did fine. I don't know.
So that.
Hi, Bob and Tam. Have fun.
We are going to leave y'all. So do your spill.
So I hope you hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it. We love all you guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Think about Patreon. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notification, and we'll see you on the next video.
And don't forget that we should go live sometime tomorrow, midday, maybe with some updates on what we found out from corporate America.
Corporate Harley.
Well, it's America. We're here in America. It's corporate.
Yes.
Corporate Harley American. There you go. In the Harley side.
Say good night, John Boy.
So we're all done, and we'll see you all guys later. And we'll have a video out tomorrow, probably around noon. Maybe I'll send it out early. Excuse me. What is tomorrow? Oh, it's Saturday. Everybody's off, so I can put it up early tomorrow. People are off. I almost got it's half done, so I just gotta get back and finish up the rest of it and get it posted for tomorrow. So it'll be day 2, right? Today's Friday. But yeah, Thursday and Friday. Day 2. Here we go. Bye.
Bye.
See y'all later.